Hi, my name is Carmen, and this is my husband, Trent. We're the founders of Make Your Mark, and we want to share this story with you.
Yeah, before we really get into the how and what we do, we'd like to start with the why. We feel that's very important because out of the why, just passion is birthed to really make a difference in the area that you're called to. Our personal why is that, out of our own brokenness, we want to bring healing to other people's lives. My life, I grew up where my dad left when I was 3 years old, and I never really saw him again. He was the invisible father. So it sent me on this search for who am I? Identity, affirmation. Well, I did it in toxic relationships, rage, anger, drugs. I became a drug dealer, which that really fulfilled this void, this affirmation. But it always left me feeling empty. And it got me to a place where I ended up getting arrested when I was around 23 years old for trafficking drugs and went into prison.
In my life, I went through a lot of rough things. I grew up in a very chaotic home. My father was very abusive to me and my mom. When I was 8 years old, I watched my father slit my mom's throat. I had 3 different people sexually abuse me, and I learned that I was adopted. And so I had been lied to about the adoption. And so in a matter of weeks, my whole life became a lie. I had issues trusting people. I didn't trust adults that were put in my path to take care of me because they were the ones that had hurt me. I started using drugs. I started running away from home. I even struggled with self-worth and suicide. My mom took me to church because she didn't know what to do with me. I said the salvation prayer. I got baptized, but I know that I didn't have a relationship with Jesus because I know now that when Jesus comes into your life, he radically changes everything.
So when I went to prison, that's when everything changed. The void that was in me was filled. I gave my life to Christ. I knew it was the answer to my emptiness. And he did. He came in and filled everything I ever searched for in all those empty, dark places and began to fill me with purpose, began to teach me about who he is. And so prison was really a great time for me, as weird as that sounds. So I was moving just completely and amazingly towards God.
When Trent went to prison, it was some of the darkest times in my life. While he was getting so close to God, I turned away from God. I blamed God for taking my best friend away from me, the stability, the security that I had had for the first time in my life, and it was gone. When Trent got out of prison, he prayed over our marriage so much, and we were together when he got out of prison. One of the first things that God really started working with me was forgiveness. And one of the first people that God wanted me to forgive was my dad. And I fought it because I always believed that forgiveness was giving the right to the person who had hurt me. And so when I was able to forgive my dad, for the first time in my life, I had freedom. My anger was gone. My fear was gone. The terror that I had lived in for 20-something years of my life, it was gone.
And so we began this journey together, just following God and him healing our brokenness. And we believe that's true redemption. He really healed us, and then he called us to go back into the same areas that he brought us out of. And so we moved into a home in uptown Charlotte, and it was a remodel, and right off of our front porch while we're working on the houses, drug addicts, prostitutes, drug dealers, and God just said, love on these people. No whiteboards, no strategic planning, just love. And so we began to love on the addicts, the prostitutes, but then God gave us the real target group, and that was the children of the prostitute. The daughter of the prostitute, the son of the drug dealer who just went to jail and is going to be fatherless like me. And that was it, a simple idea. Let's just love on the kids of the neighborhood and bring the light, hope, and love of Jesus Christ to them. Right now, in Charlotte, North Carolina, and the Bronx in New York City, where our 2 locations are in the States, there's a teenage girl getting pregnant. There's a boy trying to be influenced to drop out of school like me and to become a drug dealer, or he's getting caught up in a gang because he wants to feel a part of something. There's a family that's broken and needs hope, needs a consistent relationship in their life to love them and push them. Right now in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia, there are children, 7, 10, 12 years old, sleeping on the streets, being physically abused, beaten by people. And the most horrific part is they're being sexually abused. It just happened last night. We know it did. And so that's why we exist as an organization, is to bring hope, to bring truth, to bring consistency into the lives of these people, these children, these families.
my heart is torn to pieces for street kids is because in some ways, like, I can relate with them. I think God takes a lot of the pieces from our story and from our past, and he uses them so that we can empower other people, children, street children, to know that even in the midst of darkness, like, God is with them. God has a purpose for them.
And Make Your Mark a lot. We say awareness equals opportunity. Sometimes we're not aware of things going on in our own heart, our own family, community, or 8,000 miles across the world, Ethiopia. But when we were aware of that, kids sleeping in the streets and our daughter being born on the streets, literally, not in a hospital, but on the streets, there was no turning back. Awareness, opportunity, do something about it. Our mission statement, we meet basic and eternal needs. With the love of Christ, we meet basic and eternal needs. Yeah, basic needs, food, shelter, clothing. But the real core basic need that everyone desires in life, no matter who you are, no matter what you believe, is love. And that's where we start. We start with building them up. What is love? How to accept it. But then once you're full of it, you got to give it away. And that just naturally flows into serve. Let's go give that love away and serve other people. We try to do it with our own lives. We challenge all of our staff, all of our kids to go and serve. And as we do that, we build people's lives. Love, serve, build. We build people's lives, which equals building God's kingdom. In heaven, there's not going to be houses. There's not going to be programs and buildings. There's going to be people. And so love, serve, build helps us get there. It's how we do it. When the kids first come here to the day center in Ethiopia, they learn Make Your Mark. And what that means is two things. God, make your mark on our heart. But then also, let's us together go make a mark on the world too, a positive mark. And yeah, we teach them too, those three principles, love, serve, build. Out of those three, everything flows in Make Your Mark. Love, serve, build.